Hey, this is Sleeper. Welcome back to my channel. We are continuing with the Ffuf module. If you need access to Hack the Box, you can use the link below. I recommend the Silver Annual Plan as it gives you access to all the job role paths, modules up to Tier 2, and includes an exam voucher once per year, which is a limited time offer and contains 2 exam attempts towards either the CBBH, the Certified Bug Bounty Hunter, or the CPTS, the Certified Penetration Testing Specialist. Check it out. We'll go ahead and continue with Vhost Fuzzing. As we saw in the previous section, we were able to fuzz public subdomains using public DNS records. However, when it came to fuzzing subdomains that do not have a public DNS record or subdomains under websites that are not public, we could not use the same method. In this section, we will learn how to do that with Vhost fuzzing. Vhosts versus subdomains. The key difference between vhosts and subdomains is that a vhost is basically a subdomain served on the same server and has the same IP, such that a single IP could be serving 2 or more different websites. Vhosts may or may not have public DNS records. In many cases, many websites would actually have subdomains that are not public and will not publish them in public DNS records. And hence, if we visit them in a browser, we would fail to connect, as the public DNS would not know their IP. Once again, if we use the subdomain fuzzing, we would only be able to identify public subdomains, but will not identify any subdomains that are not public. This is where we utilize vhosts fuzzing on an IP we already have. We will run a scan and test for scans on the same IP, and then we will be able to identify both public and non-public subdomains and vhosts. Vhosts fuzzing. To scan for vhosts without manually adding the entire word lists to our Etsy hosts, we will be fuzzing HTTP headers, specifically the host header. To do that, we can use the -h flag to specify a header, and we'll use the fuzz keyword within it as follows. So Ffuf -w with our word list, -u our URL, and -h header host, and we're going to fuzz that. We see that all words in the word lists are returning 200 OK. This is expected, as we are simply changing the header while visiting hackthebox academy.htb with that port number. So we know that we will always get 200 OK. However, if the vhost does not exist and we send a correct one in the header, we should get a different response size, as is the case. We would be getting the page from that vhosts, which is likely to show a different page. Filtering results. So far, we have not been using any filtering to our Ffuf, and the results are automatically filtered by default by their HTTP code, which filters out code 404 and keeps the rest. However, as we saw in our previous run of Ffuf, we can get many responses with code 200. So in this case, we will have to filter the results based on another factor, which we will learn in this section. Filtering. Ffuf provides the option to match or filter out a specific HTTP code, response size, or amount of words. We can see that with Ffuf-h. In this case, we can not use matching, as we don't know what the response size from other vhosts would be. we know the response size of the incorrect results, which, as seen from the test above, is 900. And we can filter it out with -fs 900. Now let's repeat the same previous command, add the above flag, and see what we get. So the same thing here, word lists, URL, same header with the fuzz, and our FS 900. This time, we get an admin. We can verify that by visiting the page and seeing if we can connect to it. Don't forget to add admin.academy.hackthebox to the Etsy host file. Note, if your exercise has been restarted, ensure you still have the correct port when visiting the website. We can see that when we can access the page, but we get an empty page, unlike what we got with academy.hackthebox. Therefore, confirming this is indeed a different vhost. We can even visit admin.academy.htb /blog/index.php, and we will see that we would get a 404 page not found, confirming that we are now indeed on a different vhost. Try running a recursive scan on admin.academy.htb and see what you can identify. So we'll start this up again. Our host is up from last time still. And our question, try running a vhost fuzzing scan on academy.htb and see what other vhosts you get. What other vhosts did you get? So we will go ahead and use this, copy this here, and just to recap, filter FS, this filters the HTTP response size. So from the previous page, if you remember, we'll just hop back, it says the size was 900, so we're filtering these out with that flag. So paste that in and change our, I never added this IP address to Etsy hosts, so I'll do that first. Oops. And academy.htb. I don't think I need the port number, but maybe I do, but we'll see. If I can spell correctly. Academy. Oops. Oops. Okay. Dot. There we go. Okay. So let's see if this works. We'll grab that command again. Yeah, I think we just need the IP address there. So just the port now to add in. That's 46497 for me. So we got our word list of the top 5,000 from this list. Subdomains, we're fuzzing specifically the header that we're specifying, and we're filtering out the 900 responses. And it looks like I did something wrong, so let's check this real quick. Academy dot hack the box. Academy dot hack the box. I think we first need to run it again to see actually what our header size is. Okay, we're also not getting anything. I will go ahead and reset this target. So let's take a couple steps back. We'll go back here. This is where we started. So first, we run Ffuf. We have our word list, our URL, and we're fuzzing the header. So we'll copy that. So we changed our IP address, so let's get that updated in the Etsy hosts. With the new IP 5676. 5676. 942375676. Exit. Save that. And paste our command from the previous page. Once again, we're fuzzing for that header with our new port 52510. Oops. Let's get rid of the sleeper portion. And now we're getting responses. So we had to reset it. Our size is different. It's 986. So that's why we weren't seeing anything there. We'll go ahead and use the -fs flag now with 986 and run it again. And there we go. So we get admin and test. So were they able to load it here? No, so we'll just say admin and test if they want both. Saying what other ones did you get? So we got test. Okay, let's take a look. Admin and test. I mean, that is what else we got. Let's try both. Okay, so maybe we'll visit it. And maybe it wants us to take that step further, so using a command from before, let's just see. Academy HTB port 52510. So test. And it's hanging. How about just, let's see, fuzz.academy.htb admin.academy.htb. And it's not pulling up. Trying to vhost scan on academy.htb and see what other vhosts you get. Well, we had admin, we had test, and there's nothing else. From here, our response size is 986. So let's see if our previous okay. So let's try to read through this one more time. With the port, that's what we did. Okay. Don't forget to add the newly found. Okay. So we'll try that. So same IP 94.237.56.76. So test.academy.htb. One more, we'll do the 94.237.56.76 admin.academy. And we'll save that. So now if we try, let's see what happens. With first admin, yes, take me there. If you would. Connection timed out. How about test.academy? Yes, take me there. So maybe it's asking for the full thing. Test.academy.hackthebox. So that's what it wanted all along, the entire URL. So don't forget that. And carrying on. Parameter fuzzing. Get. If we run a recursive Ffuf scan on admin.admin. I'm just waking up still. admin.academy.hackthebox. We should find admin.academy.hackthebox /admin/admin.php. If we try accessing this page, we see the following. You don't have access to read the flag. This indicates that there must be something that identifies users to verify whether they have access to read the flag. We did not, nor do we have any cookie that can be verified on the back end. So perhaps there is a key that we can pass to the page to read the flag. Such keys would usually be passed as a parameter, using either a GET or a POST HTTP request. This section will discuss how to fuzz for such parameters until we identify a parameter that can be accepted by the page. Fuzzing parameters may expose unpublished parameters that are publicly accessible. Such parameters tend to be less tested and less secured, so it is important to test such parameters for the web vulnerabilities we discuss in other modules. Get request fuzzing. Similarly to how we have been fuzzing various parts of a website, we will use Ffuf to enumerate parameters. Let us first start with fuzzing for GET requests, which are usually passed right after the URL, with a question mark symbol like /admin/admin.php question mark param key param1 equals key. So all we have to do is replace param1 in the example above with fuzz and rerun our scan. Before we can start, however, we must pick an appropriate word list. Once again, sec lists has just that and the burp parameter names.txt. With that, we can run our scan. Once again, we will get back many results. So we will filter out the default response size we are getting. So Ffuf, our word list, and our URL, we're fuzzing the parameter equals key. First we have to find our size, and then we'll go from there. So it should have had this earlier to give us a hint, but that's okay. We do get a hit back. Let us try to visit the page and add this get parameter and see whether we can read the flag now. This method is deprecated. As we can see, the only hit we got back has been deprecated and appears to no longer be in use. Using what you learn in this section, run a parameter fuzzing scan on this page. What is the parameter accepted by this web page? So we will do that. Let's close out of this. Let's grab the first command. So it's the burp parameters names.txt. We'll copy this. We're fuzzing for the parameter there. So first, we don't want to filter out that because we don't know that size. And something happened. We didn't specify the port number. Five two 510, I believe. Yep. Okay. So this time our response size is 798. I'll just kill that. And it's not keeping my previous command, but 798 is our, we're filtering out the size of the request and hitting enter. Okay, was this, oh yeah. For some reason my paste or my commands are not saving, so bear with me. 798 and port number 52510. This time it should work. User. Okay, so user. So let's try to visit that. So we have admin.academy.htb, our port number, /admin/admin.php, question mark, user equals key. User equals key. And it didn't like that. Let's verify. admin.academy.htb /admin/admin.php question mark equal user equals key. That was our response. So I think, what's the parameter? Oh, it's just asking what the parameter is that's accepted by the page. We're not necessarily looking for a flag, so our answer might be this. There we go. Parameter fuzzing. Post. The main difference between post requests and GET requests is that post requests are not passed with the URL and cannot simply be appended after a question mark. Simple. Post requests are passed in the data field within the HTTP request. Check out the web request module to learn more about HTTP requests. To fuzz the data field with Ffuf, we can use the -d flag, as we saw previously in the output of Ffuf-h. We also have to add the -x post to send post requests. Tip: in PHP, post data content type can only accept application /x form URL encoded. So we can set that in Ffuf with the -h, the header flag, content type equals that. So let us repeat what we did earlier, but place our fuzz keyword after the -d flag. So we have Ffuf, our word list, our URL, we're fuzzing the key -d, and we're adding the header. We're cutting out any responses of that response size. And so just to recap real quick, place fuzz keyword after the -d flag. So data field, okay, is the -d. As we can see this time, we got a couple hits. The same one we got when fuzzing get, and another parameter which is ID. Let's see what we get if we send a post request with the ID parameter. We can do that with curl as follows. So curl our URL post with data with our content type, and it's saying invalid ID. As we can see, that's what it says. And last but not least, value fuzzing. After fuzzing a working parameter, we now have to fuzz the correct value that would return the flag content we need. This section will discuss fuzzing for parameter values, which should be fairly similar to fuzzing for parameters once we develop our word list. Custom word list. When it comes to fuzzing parameter values, we may not always find a pre-made word list that would work for us, as each parameter would expect a certain type of value. For some parameters, like usernames, we can find a pre-made word list for potential usernames, or we may create our own based on users that may potentially be using the website. For such cases, we can look for various word lists under seclists directory and try to find one that may contain values matching the parameter we are targeting. In other cases, like custom parameters, we may have to develop our own word list. In this case, we can guess that the ID parameter can accept a number input of some sort. These IDs can be in a custom format or can be sequential, like 1 from 1,000, 1 to 1 million, and so on. We'll start with a word list containing all numbers from 1 to 1,000. There are many ways to create this word list, from manually typing the IDs in a file or scripting it using Bash or Python. The simplest way is to use the following command in Bash that writes all numbers from 1 to 1,000 to a file. Once we run it, our word list is ready. Now we can move on to fuzzing for values. Value fuzzing. Our command should be fairly similar to the post command we used to fuzz for parameters, but our fuzz keyword should be put where the parameter value would be. and we'll use the IDs.txt word list we just created as follows. So Ffuf, this is our word list. A URL, we're posting ID equals fuzz with our header, and we're cutting out the response size to filter them out. We see that we get a hit right away. We can finally send another post request using curl, as we did in the previous section, use the ID value we just found, and collect the flag. So try to create the IDs.txt word list, identify the accepted value with a fuzzing scan, and then use it in a post request with curl to collect the flag. What is the content of the flag? So first we got to start with our command to create the word list. So I'll copy that, or the number list. And it's ready for us. Second part is to run our command. So ffuf-w with our number list. Our response was 798, and we got to change the port number here, 52510. So that's all set. We're posting with the dash data ID equals fuzz with our content type, and good to go. We're getting everything, so maybe we need to change that to 768 now. And there it is, 73. So now if we just curl this, and that should be good. We don't necessarily need the FS flag. So we're curling our URL, we're posting with the, hold on. Yeah, I think that should be good. Posting with our data and with the header. And we get some HTML code back. Hack the Box Academy. It says invalid ID. Well, because our invalid ID, we don't put fuzz, we need 73. So let's change that. And then we should get our flag. So this time it's saying, here you go. Parameter fuzzing is key. Submit. And let's just see if we can visit this in the browser real quick. Here we go. User equals 73. Admin PHP ID. It doesn't have our header, so it won't work in the browser. Okay. Alright, so now for our skills assessment, web fuzzing. You're given an online academy's IP address, but have no further information about their website. Just closing this out. As a first step of conducting a penetration test, you're expected to locate all pages and domains linked to their IP to enumerate the IP and domains properly. Finally, you should do some fuzzing on pages you identify to see if any of them has any parameters that can be interacted with. If you do find any active parameters, see if you can retrieve any data from them. Alright, and we've got a few questions, 5 questions. So we'll start the target and we'll just read through these. So run a subdomain /v host fuzzing scan on *academy.htb for the IP shown above. What are all the subdomains that you can identify? Only write the subdomain name. Before you run your page fuzzing scan, you should first run an extension fuzzing scan. Excuse me. What are the different extensions accepted by the domains? One of the pages you identify should say, "You don't have access." What is the full page URL? In the page from the previous question, you should be able to find multiple parameters that are accepted by the page. What are they? And lastly, try fuzzing the parameters you identified for working values. One of them should return a flag. What is the content of the flag? So first, let's open our command line and let's move to our, so our directory with word list in it. Let's just move there first and see what's in here. Okay, so we got the subdomains, and I guess that's all we need for now. So we'll add this first to our Etsy hosts. So we can clear these out. So our new IP address is 94.237.49.11. And save that. So our first question, once again, is to run that subdomain vhosting scan on this for the IP shown above. So if we remember, we can just hop back here for a refresh. We want to try to do it by itself and see what happens. Otherwise, we'll have to do it with the header, with the vhost scan. So academy.hackthebox. And that should be good. So I think it doesn't like this, so we'll have to go with the Vhost Fuzzing once again. So this, remember we specified in the header. Ooh, low battery. Okay, and we're back. So -h host this. So we'll copy this and try this one. Back here. And our new port number is 50634. Okay, so we're getting a response size of 985, so we got to filter that out now. And we get test and archive. So it's asking what are all the subdomains you can identify. Let's just let that finish. Okay. So there is faculty there as well. So test, archive, and faculty, if you see it. There we go. So let's see. Test, let's see if it's separated with comma, archive, and faculty. There we go. Before you can run your page fuzzing scan, you should first run an extension scan. So what are the different extensions accepted by the domains? So that one, let's just jump back here. That was page fuzzing? No? Yes, extension fuzz. Okay. So we'll grab this. Remember before it said most pages have an index file, so we'll try and see if we can do that before running another scan. So we don't know any directories yet, so we'll just try it on the main page. And we need our IP and port. And we're good. So we're trying this first. It's pretty quick, and it does return the PHP. So from there we can just say PHP. Incorrect. What are the different? Well, it's saying 403, so maybe both. Oh, .php. PHP, PHPS. It's 403, but it's interesting. Okay. On the domain, so let's specify, oh yeah, we don't need the IP address, we need the other things here. So admin, sorry, test.academy.htb. There we go, let's see. Returns nothing, so we'll try then, what was it? Faculty was one of them. Faculty, and we'll try archive. No responses there. So then let's try first a recursive scan, and then we'll jump back. We don't know our extension, so we'll just run this without the extension flag. Okay, we'll keep it proposed. We don't know our extension yet. Yeah, we'll keep that there. And we'll try test first. And let me just copy this and start it 2 more times with our other 2. Let's see. New tab, paste. We're going archive, right? And we're going one more. New tab. Faculty. And it's not returning anything. So I must be doing something wrong. See if this extra space is no good. Also, let's just get rid of that depth. Okay. So let's just read this. Here we go. So maybe we don't need the subdomain. And let me hop back to this one. It was not that one. Is this one maybe? It's kind of freaking out there. Let's see what happens when we visit this. Test or archive. Oh wait. Also, we need to add that to the Etsy hosts. So first, sudo nano Etsy hosts. Okay. So we found a few more. We need to add them here. Okay, so that's all set. Verify, test, archive, faculty. Now let's rerun the scans. For sure, we'll do this one first. If there's anything. It's kind of hanging there. It's kind of freaking out. It's not getting normal responses here. So we'll test it in the browser. Trying test or trying faculty. Did you mean? Yes. Take me there. And we're trying archive. So it might have that same issue with that header being needed, but we'll take a look. This is just acting funny. I'm not sure why. The extensions look good, but when we try to run this, it doesn't take it. We've added this to our Etsy host. Maybe we need to run recursive scans on on each of those. So recursive, didn't I have this here? Wonder if it's just freaking out because we kept going back and forth. So, in that case, let's try to reset it. We'll have to change our... Let's just end this. Let's start again. From the top. We got a new target. I'll just copy this. Okay. So, sudo nano Etsy hosts. Put our new IP in here. Six two 195 62195 62195. So we know for sure these are the subdomains. Let's see if we can run that scan now to at least find an extension and then or a directory and then find an extension after that. It's doing this weird thing where it's not coming back to us. Because we don't have a port number. Is that our problem the entire time? Okay, so do not forget your port number is the moral of the story. So archive faculty. Let's see if, where is our extensions? There we go. Okay, let's see if this works now. Oh yeah. .php .phps. It's returning the same thing, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's different on each. Ah, it sure is. And archive. Okay, so we ran the extensions Ffuf, and we found PHP and PHP 7. Let's see if it takes it with a dot or with a space. PHP 7. PHP 7. Interesting. .php 7. I mean, that's technically true. Let's see, what about just Academy? That's our last thing. I mean, if it takes all three. It takes all three, even though it gets us to the 403. Alright, so that's good. One of the pages you'll identify should say you don't have access. So now that we know the extension, we can run the other thing. So where was that? That was in here. Let's take a look. This one has our extension, so we'll grab this. So we have the recursion. We can just specify the -e and with our different flags there. So this is running. Let's kill this. So recursion, remember, recursion depth, we can go 1 -e. So we'll go, does it need a dot? I forgot. .php, .php 7, .php. It wouldn't, we had the 403 on this, so maybe I'll just leave that out. And we'll give it for, that's fine, I guess. Verbose, we'll add it. So right away we have an index, .php and an index, .php 7 from our initial extension discovery. See if there's anything else. And just to verify, this was on the faculty. Oh, courses. So that's different. Courses. We can try to grab this command and run it for the other two. There it is. Okay. So we ran it on faculty. we'll run it on the other two now. So on test, and one more on archive. Slash courses, okay. It came up for this one as well. Oh, did I end this? No. I'm just towards the top. Okay, so just passing through this. So courses. Oh, it's recursion. Did I not specify the recursion depth? That I did. So it's trying to go into that courses now. It doubled it. And it doubled it here. So I think courses is the direction we want to go. So let's try one of the pages you'll identify. So let's try to go to it here. So we got a couple options. We'll start with archive. Slash courses. And our IP address. I mean our port number, of course. 505672. Says blank. That's not found. And faculty. At least it's coming up blank in a browser. So .php, right? .php, not just slash courses. Or PHP 7. Academy, faculty, archive. And test as well. So we can go back to our initial. I don't think it wants us to work too hard on this. But where did it go? Oh, there it was. It just says slash courses. So the question is backslash courses. It's trying to go into courses. It's running. Oh, what was this? .php. Okay. I think it ended. Couldn't find anything in courses. So now it's back onto the main. I could be wrong. Our extension. That's what I want to check. Did I run that right? So sub, which one was it? Page fuzzing. Actually recursive fuzzing. So I have the -e flag. Does it need the dot? Was the question. It has a dot. The question is, can Ffuf use two extensions? Ffuf -e flag. I guess I can also just that's fine. Let's try to look for an example. Let's go extension fuzzing. In order separated by spaces. So it's not a comma. So that might be the issue. So we'll run it again. I think we can just kill these now. And try it again. So separated by space. So index, courses, index.php. Well, maybe we haven't visited that yet. On anything. Oops, academy.academy. Archive.academy and faculty. Oops. Okay, nothing. So it found the index.php and it started a second job on courses. It found that one pretty quick. But we've got 3 routes to go down. So was this our original one? Let's see. So it's trying to fuzz this. It's adding this to the job, but it's not taking it. So what if we just started it there? Because that might be the direction we should be going. One of the pages you identify should say you don't have access. So maybe, let's see, it's fuzzing this, but wouldn't it need, let's see, where are we? I mean, it's trying with the extensions, right? So we haven't tried this yet. Vhost. We have not tried with the header. So let's try with the header, just to cover all our bases. And then remove 985. So it didn't really run, or didn't like that. -fs. So we filtered out with our -fs flag, but it still didn't return anything. These are all OKs. Size 985, 985, and this looks okay, right? Academy port, no, 50562. Okay, this should work now. Archive test. Okay, we knew that. Faculty. Okay. So moving on with the post, we're saying we're not even sure this portion. So we can't get to here without this first. So that's the issue. Oops, I moved in here. That's okay. Alright, so this is still working. It's not finding anything. Which is very interesting. Index.php. I mean, was this? This was our scan, right? Faculty. Okay, okay. We've never tried that. What about courses? /index.php. Or faculty. Oops. Course is. Archive. Test. I mean, these come up blank, so that's interesting. 1. 1. And it's literally finding nothing. In any of these. Okay, so something I can try then is just doing this, getting rid of these, and trying .php. 505. What happened? 50562 recursion. I mean, that should work, no? When using the -u, the URL must end with fuzz. Okay. So we're trying it again now with just the PHP7. Seeing if that had anything to do with it. Copyright James Fisher. I mean, is that really our answer? It couldn't be. Hashtag.php. No. Faculty and archive. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pause here. I'll take a look at this and we'll continue from there. Alright, so after some troubleshooting and restarting the box a few times, I figured out what I was doing wrong. So we'll go ahead and reset it one more time to get a fresh target. We have a fresh pwn box. Things should work smoothly from here. I'll go ahead and reset this and get the correct scan started. So what we needed was this. We'll go ahead and open our command line and grab the exact line of command we needed. So this is what we needed here. Ffuf, we needed our word list. We needed to try the two extensions that we had, PHP and the PHP7. We don't necessarily need the recursion, but I have it here, and our directory list with our correct IP and our correct port number. So I just reset it, 56052, 56052, and we'll just make sure that our IP is the same, 94237592006. So cat Etsy hosts. Not in there, so let's add it. I'll just copy it over. Copy and paste. And we're working with faculty.academy.hackthebox. Okay, and save. So now this command should work. Let's verify that port 56052, and we're solid. So we run this. We need this to run completely to find the exact directory that we're looking for. So we'll let this run and we'll take a look once it populates. And there we go. So this is what we needed all along. We'll copy this, and let's just try to open it in the browser. Our question that we were looking for was finding a page that returns you do not have access. So if we're trying to access it in our browser, that's what we get. So we'll paste that there and submit. Incorrect. What is the full page? URL. Okay. Great. Let's see if it wants that out. Interesting. So, very interesting indeed. So, we have everything we need. Not sure why it's not taking that. So we'll continue anyways. In the page from the previous question, we should be able to find multiple parameters that are accepted by the page. So let's try to find the parameters acceptable. And I'll go ahead and grab my command from my notes and post that here in our command line. So there's two different ways. Remember, the first way is to just fuzz the parameter itself. I'll change my port number. And once again, that was 56052. That was the first way. We cancel it out to add the FS flag and the size 774. And we find that user is one of them. And remember, the second way to filter for a parameter is with the post command. So that route is through Ffuf with our burp parameters. We're posting with the -x. We're fuzzing the parameter with that post, and we're using this header as the content type. We're not sure the size yet, so we send that through. And remember, we got to change the port number first. So once again, we'll clear that out. That was 56052. So the size is once again 774. We'll filter that out. And this time, with posting the fuzz, we get both username and user. So we can see if that's our answer there. And that's good. So try fuzzing the parameters you identified for working values. One of them should return a flag. What is the content of the flag? So instead of using numbers like the example before, what we want is a user or a username. So if we use the command here, we're also posting, but we know the parameter this time, so we're going to fuzz for that user ID or that username. I'm taking the 10 million usernames.txt from seclists. If you're using the pwn box, it's in this directory here, opt useful seclists, usernames, and the list. Otherwise, you can grab it from the GitHub. And hit enter there. It's running. My IP is old, so my port is old, so I need to update that again. See, I tried this multiple times. I keep forgetting it. 56052. So our size, 781, filter that out, 781. And we return with Harry. So then we want to take a look at our question. What is the content of the flag? With the cheat sheet here, remember, it asks us to curl with post, so we're going to use this exact thing here, and I'll just grab the command. And hop back. So we're curling to the correct address, to the correct IP 56052 to our found directory we're posting, and we're posting that username Harry with our header. And we get a response with a flag. And we can post that. And now backtracking to why this did not work. So maybe user, or maybe just PHP or courses. What is the full page URL? Well, this is the URL. This is the IP address with a port number. We tried that. We tried this. So let's try to just put user. If we put user ID equals 1 or username. So username. So let's try that. Username equals maybe. I mean, it does say that URL, so one of the pages you will identify should say you do not have access. Index.php. Index.php 7. I wonder what it wants here. Maybe this with archive. Now it's just a guessing game. Faculty.academy.hackthebox 56052. Maybe it doesn't want the port number because it's not specific to. How could it know? So let's just put it back and then remove it. Oh man, I thought that was it. Faculty.academy.hackthebox courses Linux security PHP. What a bummer. Courses. Interesting. There's someone's blog post on it. Open link. You don't have access. That's what we have. I mean, let's try. I mean, I've already tried it. With and without this. Without the port number. HTTP. Faculty Academy Hack the Box courses. We haven't tried test. Okay. Academy.hackthebox. Maybe. Run a recursive scan on all subdomains you found. Use all of the extensions you found. Use port instead of the port above. There's our clue. Okay. So, because it couldn't be port specific, use port instead of port shown above. And there we go. Details. You gotta look to find details in these things. Alright, so we've complete the attacking web applications with Ffuf. Once again, my name is Sleeper, and next time we will be starting our next module. That is going to be the next open module, JavaScript deobfuscation. So until next time, that's a wrap.